Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to Slayer Talk, our Buffy the Vampire Slayer show. My name is Mark. With me as always is my wife, Carol. How you doing today, Carol?
Hey, what's up?
Not much. It's been a good week here. It is May 24th, 1999. Your birthday approaches.
It does.
Much like the Ascension.
We've been celebrating a little bit today, too.
We have been celebrating a little bit. We've been a little bit tipsy today. So you all know. Now, here's the thing. Some of you may need to wait to listen to this episode so that you don't get spoiled. Just forewarning, we're going to be talking all about Graduation Part 2. Carol and I went to a friend's house in Canada
Right.
and watched the episode. About a 20-minute drive for us. No big deal. But
Gotta love Michigan. Well, Detroit.
but it doesn't air in the States for a couple weeks. So, or I think almost a month. But anyway, so if you are planning on watching it, you haven't watched it yet, wait until you watch it, then pop this tape in and listen to it. But we're going to talk about it because we just watched it. Carol. Mm-hmm. Graduation Part 2. Ascension Part 1.
I think that was the only part of the Ascension.
Mayor Part 0. What did you think?
I was pretty disappointed. I really, they built this up the whole season.
Yeah, and that, again, not much happens in this episode.
No.
And the final solution to beat him is not really clever or interesting in any way.
That, I even took notes, and I don't remember exactly what they did. I just know they killed him.
Oh, I know how they killed him.
Okay.
I have things to say about how they killed him. I don't know if you want to start there or if you want to start at the beginning, but no, I have the last act of the episode, the actual graduation ceremony and the resolution of everything. I have big problems.
Well, I have
with.
big problems with it because it looked awful, but
Yeah, it doesn't look good. It's TV budget. I can give it a little bit of a pass, but there are many bad things about it.
they need a bigger budget.
They do, yeah.
But no, I mean, to start off the episode, the mayor is so worried about Faith. It's kind of weird. He's
Why
supposed
does he-
to be, yeah.
Why does he care so much about her?
I don't know. He's supposed to be this heartless, evil person, but he's not totally. He has the soft spot for her.
He's been alive for hundreds of years because he's some weird magician-y kind of guy or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, why does he care so much about her?
It's confusing.
He shows up at the apartment or whatever, her apartment, where he's been putting her up, I guess, because she couldn't afford that place.
For sure.
And where the fight has been. I don't know how he knows there's been a fight. He's just eaten a bunch of spiders or whatever. And he's like, fucking find Faith, find her.
Yeah.
He's all freaked out about her. He shows up at the hospital because guess what? She didn't die.
Right.
Which I know exactly why they did that too, and it's lame and I hate it. Because they wrote themselves into a corner when they killed Buffy at the end of season 1. And then they had a new Slayer come. And then the new Slayer gets killed, and then Faith replaces her. And they're like, what? There's only one. They're like, it's like Highlander or whatever. There could be only one. Like, what are we going to do with a second Slayer? It's like, when she was, in South America or whatever, we could be like, oh, she's out there fighting stuff in South America or whatever. But Faith's here, we don't really know what to do with her. They turn her into a villain. Basically, they turned her into the heavy of the main villain. And that wasn't that interesting. I feel like they wasted the actress.
She's excellent.
On that role. And so they didn't know what to do, and they're like, fuck, if we kill her, then we have to explain, okay, another Slayer's coming to take her place. And then what are we supposed to do there? So what they decided to do is, she's not dead.
Right.
She's brain dead and in a coma, but she'll stay alive in the hospital.
So we don't need to make another Slayer.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, and the reason that we go to the hospital anyway, before the mayor even gets there, is that Buffy offers herself to Angel because he needs to drink some Slayer juice.
Yeah, he needs. She's juicing for him, all right. Yeah, this was dumb too to me because it's like, if that's the why go through the whole thing of trying to kill Faith then?
Yeah, if you trusted him enough to let him feed off you and not kill you, then you should. Although I think she didn't totally trust that he wasn't going to kill her, and he almost did.
He did almost kill her, yeah, and everyone was pissed at him.
Well, yeah. I mean, he almost killed her. He should. I mean, truly, like, if he really loved her and he thought there was a chance he'd kill her, then he shouldn't have done it.
I also don't believe, like, I don't buy that it's in his character that he would do that.
What, to feed off her? Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, okay, but he is a monster. I mean, yes, he's got a soul and he's Angelus and he's amazing, but he's still a vampire.
Yeah, I guess.
But like, it was nasty. Like, you could hear him gulping and stuff. It was I did not like that scene.
Yeah, and then it wasn't sexual. Mm-mm. Like sometimes they try to make it the feeding thing.
I don't think they ever make it sexual in this universe.
Not in this show, no. But they like once she's been bitten and taken to the hospital, he's like, she needs blood, give her a transfusion.
Yeah, and they want to know what bit her.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. You guys been on drugs? Because he like fucking breaks something with superhuman strength.
Yeah, because he's so worried.
And the doctor's like, yeah, you been on drugs? You taking anything? It's only help her if you tell me. He's like, no, she's clean. It's fine. But then the gang comes in, and they're all worried, and they're all pissed off at him, which I guess I kind of get, but it's like, at the same time, she was the one that offered it up.
I guess. I mean, I would be mad.
But Willow's like, is she going to become a vampire? No, she didn't feed off me. It's like, okay, thanks.
But she didn't feed off the master, did she?
No.
He bit her like once, and she fell down and drowned.
Yeah.
Oh, she didn't become a vampire.
No.
Yeah, never mind.
Yeah, I didn't know where you were going with
Sorry. Got confused for a second. But yeah, so while they're there, the mayor shows up looking for Faith and finds her.
Yeah, and tries to strangle her with his hand.
Yeah, Buffy. I was like, wait, Faith? He didn't try to kill Faith.
Holding her mouth, and then Angel pushes him off and stuff.
Yeah, that was fucked up.
And then she basically recovers. It's like, okay, everything's fine. It's like, it feels so much like they wrote this, like, oh, he gets poisoned. It's like, how's he get out of it? I don't know. Just have him get it. Like, like, it feels hand waved away.
Well, she is supernatural, and she does, kill quickly, so I guess I get it. She needed help. They gave her help.
Yeah, I guess.
So, I'm looking at my notes, and what was he doing? Oh, yeah, the hand over the mouth thing. But it
is weird. It looks he's trying to suffocate her, I guess, but it just looks weird the way he's doing it.
The way, he was like moving his hand like back and like he was shaking her head.
Yeah, I don't know. And he's supposed to does he not have any kind of powers? Because he's invincible or whatever.
Well, he has the spiders in him now.
Yeah.
Ugh. Gross ass spiders. And then while Buffy's out and Faith is out, then all of a sudden Faith is helping Buffy in her mind.
Oh, that was fucking weird too. What was that?
I don't know.
I thought what was going to happen is she was going to be like, yeah, this is what I thought was going to happen. You needed blood. They gave you some of my blood.
Huh.
So, some of me's in you now or whatever.
But they wouldn't have given her another patient's blood.
No, I know it doesn't make any sense, but I thought that's what they were going to do. Something like that, right? And she was going to be like, I'm in you now, B, or whatever. So not like she's possessed by her or whatever, but I don't know, she has a little bit more of an edge to her, I guess, now or whatever, because there's some faith in her or whatever. But that's not what they did. Instead, I guess it's just a dream.
I don't know. It was weird. There was not much point to it. There was not much point to anything really.
No, there wasn't much point to it because like all her stuff's packed up in her apartment. And there's the cat there, and she's like, "Yeah, just take what you need, B or whatever." And she's like, "To get the mayor, the part of him that's human stays. So like, whatever his human weaknesses stay, and that gives them the idea of using faith as his weakness, but they don't really.
No.
I mean, Buffy's just like, hey, I stabbed Faith with this knife. He wasn't going to chase Buffy anyway?
Right. Yeah, I agree. It was dumb. And Willow and what the Wolf Boy had sex.
Yeah, Willow and Oz had sex last episode.
And she says it was the best night of her life.
Yeah.
Losing your virginity is not usually the best night of your life. So, props to Oz, I guess.
Yeah, he's good.
Because, usually girls are pretty, not happy about that.
Right. I do have to say, the beginning of this episode contained my favorite joke, I think, definitely of this season, maybe of the entire show so far, where Willow is sitting over Angel, and Angel's fucking delirious, and he's like, oh, you've been watching me? She's like, yeah. And he's like, oh, I want you so bad. I love you. I can't leave you. And he's kissing her arm, her hand, and stroking her and stuff like that. And she's like, oh my God, and then he's like, Willow? And she's like, yeah, it's me. We've been we're taking turns watching over you or whatever. He's like, oh, and they he falls back and everything, and he comes out and she comes out and Oz is there, and he goes, how is he? And she goes, she thought I was Buffy, and Oz goes, you too. Huh? The image of him doing the same thing to Oz,
right?
And the way he delivers the line is so subtle, and that was very funny.
That was. All right, let's talk about it. The graduation.
Yeah, I mean, because honestly, other than that, all they do is Cordelia fucking pecker slaps them around a little bit, being, "What'd you do to Wesley?"
Yeah.
And then Wesley comes back and says, "How can I help? Fuck the council. I'll help you guys," or whatever. And that's all that happens. And then they have this meeting where they're Buffy's like, "I have a plan," but they don't tell us what the plan is, which I understand because it's supposed to be a surprise or whatever. And they're all like, "Oh, that plan's weird. What about attacking with hummus?" And when they said that, I thought his human weakness, some kind of allergy.
Right.
I was trying to think back. I'm like, did they establish that he's allergic to something earlier? Because if they did, brilliant. They, whatever. That's not what it is, though. It's just faith. It's not even what Angel brings up or whoever brings up the germs. Mm-hmm. Someone brings up the germs, and I was like, oh, that would make sense, actually, if they did something like that or whatever. Cordelia's like, what if we got in a box of Ebola and chased him around with it or whatever?
Yeah.
Or just wrote Ebola on a box.
And she's like, well, nobody else came up with anything.
Right. But yeah, so Buffy says she has a plan, and it requires Xander because of his military training. So here's the plan. The guy gives his speech.
That was hilarious, too. I don't remember who said it, but somebody's like...
Buffy.
Oh my God, he's going to do the whole speech.
Yeah.
Because he is. He's just doing the whole thing. And then he's
evil.
like, I thought I had more time as he's turning into the demon. He really wanted to finish that speech.
Yeah, seriously. And okay, so there's an eclipse because they figure out, there's going to be an eclipse. So vampires are in play. That means that Angel can also help us. He's in play too because there's going to be an eclipse. No one knew this. No one knew an eclipse was going to happen. Those are usually known well in years in advance.
Right.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But just a freak eclipse over Sunnydale, whatever. And
shit happens there all the time. Who cares?
So he starts to turn into this big CGI,
awful,
terrible-looking demon.
Awful.
And the plan... Now, none of the kids are running away. They're all just kind of standing there, frozen and stuff. And I thought to myself... This is dumb. Why aren't they running?
Well,
this is fucking, I get, they might be frozen in fear or whatever, but, they should be running. This is stupid. But then it becomes part of the plan. Because they're all armed. They all know they've all been briefed. They all know what's going to happen.
Only on the Hellmouth could they get away with this.
Right. The Principal Snyder, gets eaten.
Yay, that was the best part of the episode.
Yeah, because he's like, this is my school, and you should. He's like trying to talk down to a demon. And anyway, and he looks like a big dragon, basically.
Yeah. And he still has the same face.
It looks terrible. But
basically, right? Like, I'm not imagining that.
No, he doesn't still have the same face, and it's like a dragon face, and that's a big part of the problem for me, because I get that he has to turn into this big thing because that's what they've established, but it really disconnects the audience from the mayor as the human villain. It's almost like he's a totally different thing now. He's just a monster now. And I get that it might have been impossible to do it any other way, but like it really disconnects the audience from, those two things. There's nothing to connect them other than the fact that it's like him or whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway, so they're all armed with stuff. And they start shooting. They start shooting the vampires and stuff like that. I kind of love the idea that like they can just win by attrition. Like the vampires are like, let's get those kids or whatever, and then like 100 kids just surround like 5 vampires and beat the shit out of them. Like, I thought that was kind of funny. Like, yeah, they're supernatural creatures, but they can't stand up to 100 people at once.
Right, that's true.
But so then the final solution is Buffy with the knife saying like, "Oh, I slipped this into fucking Faith like hot butter or whatever," and he starts chasing her through the school. She runs into the library or one of the buildings of the school.
Yeah,
and they've filled it with explosives, basically just a big bomb. And then she runs out. Giles has the fucking cartoon like plunger to make the bomb go off. And as he looks around, he goes, "Oh golly," or something like that.
No, it was "oh gosh," I believe. I wrote it down one moment.
It was the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah. It was well gosh. Yeah.
Well gosh. In perfect the mayor's voice as this giant demon. It was so stupid.
I think what's even stupider though is that the plan worked, because like he happened to have this real long neck and was able to like chase her through the school that way. He was supposed to be giant. What if he was too big to go into the school building?
Yeah,
like
exactly. They didn't know what his final form was going to be. It just like no one ever thought of bombs before. Like dynamite's been around for a while,
right?
I don't know. Like a volcano killed the other one. So they were like, and that's the thing too, there was nothing clever about this in any way.
Yeah, the volcano killing the other one, other than saying it can be killed, didn't really give them much.
No. And they killed that professor because of that.
Well, they didn't, but Faith
No,
did.
but I'm saying like, and that was just a waste. Like, all of it seems like a waste. It was just, there was nothing innovative about this. There was nothing I was like, oh, that's a smart idea. There were no smart ideas.
And the only person who got killed, I think, was the mayor. Maybe a few students.
There was a couple students that got killed or whatever, but even Xander afterwards is like, hey, we got through it pretty good, all things considered.
Yeah. So, it's not a big deal.
And then once again, in a Buffy the Vampire Slayer project, this high school gets destroyed.
Yeah, so it's going to have to be rebuilt. And I'm sure it will look... Well, I guess I was going to say it'll look the same, but it won't be there next season because I graduated.
Yeah, they're going to be in college next season, so whatever college is.
Yeah. Interesting. That's going to be weird. I wonder if that's going to hurt the show.
There are lots of shows that fail when they do the college years. Saved by the Bell did the college years.
Yeah, no good.
And that failed.
But now 2-0 is still going strong. High school, college, adult life,
Yeah, it's still on the air. I don't know if I'd say it's strong, but it's still on the air.
I know.
I'm trying to think of more things to say about this, but not much happens and not much is interesting about this.
Well, Angel leaves.
Yeah, okay. Let's talk
Angel
about that.
tells her, I'm not going to say goodbye, which I think is weird.
Well, he's
and
Irish.
if you're not going to say goodbye, then don't tell her.
Right.
Just leave.
Yeah.
But instead, like, they do this long looking at each other, and he's like, not saying goodbye to her because he's not going to say goodbye. Whatever, like, you freak.
Yeah, he went to walk off into his own TV show.
There was like this haze and stuff. It's all dramatic.
I thought what was going to happen is he was going to disappear, just like literally disappear. And I was like, oh, fuck, that's going to be so stupid if he just literally disappears.
No.
But then he walked away, and I was like, okay, at least they did that. But yeah, it was announced he's getting his own TV show, so he's going to his own TV show, I guess.
You know what? Good. I'm kind of done with Angel and Buffy.
Yeah, I mean, they can't even fuck. Like, it's...
And if they make out too hard, it's dangerous. Yeah.
There's, like, they've done everything they can with them.
Yeah. And they're, like, too serious and too into each other for this show.
Way too serious.
For people who aren't able to really spend their life together, yeah. Yeah,
they're way too serious. They're just, like... Yeah, they bring out a very, like, studious, like... side of each other, not studious, but like austere, like kind of like we must contemplate exactly what's the ramifications of these actions. Like they bring that out of each other, and sure, the show should be serious sometimes. The show should take its villains seriously. That's one of the things I think fails about the whole mayor thing. The mayor feels like a joke.
Yeah. Yeah, through the whole season, the big bad felt like a joke.
And this end feels like a joke. And this show, I mean, not that it's been around that long, but 3 seasons. But this show's at its best when it takes the threat seriously, and then it has goofy moments of levity aside from that.
Yeah, it's kind of been the opposite.
Yeah, exactly. Like the whole Angel Buffy thing has been like the really serious shit throughout the season. And the bad guys and the threats are all jokes, and like the vampires are all jokes, and it's like, and the rest of the town being so like in on it, like fucking we're gonna, like it was kind of cool, I guess, or whatever. But it's like that they should be scared.
Yeah,
like no one seemed afraid. Like in the Ghostbusters is a good example, right? The Ghostbusters movie is like a silly comedy movie for the most part, right? But they never treat the ghosts, the threats, as jokes. Like the threats are taken seriously. Everything else is the jokes. That's the formula for this.
Yeah, agreed. Hopefully they'll get back to their correct formula next season without Angel.
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly, I don't even necessarily want them to have like some big bad like thing or whatever. But I do want them to put more thought into what they're writing, because I've liked some of the episodes this season have been fine, and I liked season 1 a lot. I liked season 2 a lot. The season's been disappointing.
Agreed.
The magic number's 5 seasons. That's what most shows want to get to, because 5 seasons means that you have enough episodes build up that you can go in syndication. You can show up in reruns. And that's like a second revenue stream for everybody, for the creators, for the writers, for the actors. So, I mean, I hope that season 4 is better, or they might not see a season 5.
Yeah, good point.
I feel like the show's still pretty popular, but yeah, they need. I think they need to step up their game. So I hope season 4 is better.
I hope they increase their special effects budget a bit.
That's a problem too, but I mean, I get it. They're on the WB. It's not like they have a ton of money,
right?
So I get it. It's not even like they're on like ABC or something like that, or NBC, where they have a lot of money, like extra money. They don't.
Yeah.
They can't. This is like Friends. The Friends on NBC, like they recently negotiated their contract or whatever, and they're getting like close to $1 million an episode.
Oh wow!
Like all of them, like they negotiated collectively. That's not something they could ever. These people are never getting $1 million an episode.
No,
they can't afford that.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's that. I mean, that's the thing. Like, I don't know how much they can afford budget wise as far as monster stuff goes. But that doesn't matter to me as much as writing a good story.
Yeah. Yeah, they need to get back to the good story.
But anyway, that was the season. I hope and pray that next season is better, and that the college years is better.
Me too.
But Carol, tell people where they can find their own demon.
You can write us at latefee1994 at AOL.com. Check out our website at www.retrolatefee.com and share the tapes with your friends.
We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.